Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Nevada. Nevada is one of the states in the United States I have been to, so I do have some direct experience in Nevada. Nevada, the name, comes from Spanish, and it means snow-covered or snowy. So in Nevada, if you're familiar at all with Nevada, you'd think, what? Because most of Nevada is a desert. Thing is that on the western side of Nevada is the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and that is snow covered, and so it does end up being an apt descriptor for the state. Sort of. It's basically along the side there. Now, Nevada is also called the Silver State. Now, the reason it's called the Silver State is because during the 1800s, mid-1800s, there was a silver strike that actually created a silver rush to Nevada, and so it became known as the Silver State. And we'll talk about that more later. So, some Nevada facts. Now, Nevada is between California, Utah. We have California over here on the coast, Utah here in the towards the mid-central area of the United States. And then up on top we have Oregon and Idaho. And down here, this is Arizona. So, surrounded, landlocked. That comes into play a little bit later in our discussion. Achieved statehood October 31st, 1864, is the 36th state to join the United States. The capital is Carson City. Population 3.1 million, 24th overall in the United States. It is 110,577 square miles, or 286,382 kilometers squared, making it the 7th largest state in the United States. And the largest cities are Las Vegas, Henderson, Reno, and apparently North Las Vegas is considered its own city, so right around there. And you'll notice that again, this is one of the states where the capital city of the state is not one of its most populous, one of its largest cities. I have been to, just looking at this, I have been to Las Vegas and I have been to Reno. I haven't, possibly I've been to North Las Vegas. I couldn't tell you exactly. I can tell you where in Las Vegas. I was mostly on the Strip. But anyway, oops, wrong way. Okay, so Nevada. Early 19th century is when the explorers, mostly... So we have early explorers and trappers going into the area in the early 1800s, and the territory was originally owned by Mexico, or claimed, I should say owned, what I should say is claimed by Mexico. In the 1840s, John C. Fremont, he was pretty important as far as explorers go in this particular time in the United States. A lot of things named after him. In 1848, the United States took possession of the land from Mexico after the Mexican-American War, and Mexico ceded that territory to the United States as part of the Treaty of Guadalupe. Then we have, in 1959, the discovery of the Comstock lode. Now, the Comstock lode, this was that silver deposit that I was talking about. It was a massive, massive silver deposit, and it was discovered near Virginia City, and there was a huge silver rush, so they had a whole bunch of people coming into the territory, and this created that mining boom that helped quite a bit. Now, statehood came in 1864. So Nevada officially was recognized as a territory in 1861 during the American Civil War, interestingly enough. And the North kind of pushed as hard as they could to get it recognized as a territory and then as a state to bring that silver into the United States, so that it was an added resource to help them with the Civil War. So then we have the statehood in 1864. Now, gambling had always been a part of the early history of Nevada. So it's not like gambling was outlawed prior to 1931. However, the laws were really, really lax on both the gambling front and apparently on the marriage front. So people kept coming to Nevada to gamble and to get divorced, apparently. Kind of weird. But this led directly to the legalization of gambling in 1931. So then we push forward another 20 years and we have nuclear testing. So as I mentioned prior, when we were discussing the origin of the name of the state, Nevada is a desert, and it's wide open and flat in a lot of places. And because of that, they tested nuclear weapons because there was nobody around. They did come to find out later that they were still doing stupid stuff in their testing, because it's not like the radiation and stuff just immediately disappeared. We have fallout from the radiation, so when the wind picks up and it moves that radiation different directions based on the wind. Yeah, anyway. So they had above ground, there's the Nevada test site, which was an above ground nuclear testing facility, and it was not good. So then that leads into the modern era, where we know that Nevada is what it is: gambling, quick mecca for a mecca for quick and easy marriages. Drive-through even is one thing that has come about as in response to this kind of stuff. Anyway, that's kind of the brief history of Nevada. Now, Nevada, climate and geography. I talked to you about this just a little bit, because we have the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and we have the deserts. Those are, the thing is that a lot of these kind of overlap, because we have the Basin and Range region, we have the Great Basin, the Colorado Plateau. Well, a lot of Nevada is a desert, and so it kind of covers some of these areas as well. So we have the Mojave Desert in the southern part of the state, the Great Basin Desert, which is part of the Great Basin area, the northern part of the state. There's the Sierra Nevada mountain ranges. Now, on the western border of the state, it's a lot greener, because they get the moisture that comes off the Pacific Ocean, hits those mountains, and then you get on the western side, it's green, and then as it gets over to the eastern part of the state, dry. They have the majority of the land is in this basin and range area. There's a north-south mountain range and flat valleys. And again, it's kind of hard to distinguish between, say, this basin and range region and the Great Basin, because the Great Basin actually covers a large section of the western United States. If you look at like the prehistory of the United States, the Great Basin was once a huge ocean, or inland ocean, I think is sometimes what they refer to it as. It has since dried up. And all that's left of it really is the Great Salt Lake. But a lot of this area in Nevada and the western part of the United States, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, up into Idaho and things, that was all underwater. Uh, yeah. So then we have the Colorado Plateau, which is kind of red rock area of Nevada. The climate is a desert climate. We have it broken up into kind of 4 different areas. We have the desert climate, which is southern Nevada, Las Vegas, the Mojave Desert. We have the high desert climate, which is central Nevada and the Great Basin Desert, mountain and plateau, Sierra Nevada, and northeastern Nevada. And then we have the highland climate, which is eastern Nevada, Ruby Mountains, which is part of Ellie, I think is how you say it. Anyway, in the desert portion, that's just desert, as opposed to the high desert, we have very hot summers. Temperatures often go above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. And the nights, if you know a lot about deserts, they tend to be very, very hot during the day, and then the temperature drops quite a bit during the night. But the nights in this particular desert can be still warm. We have in the winter, temperatures range from 50 to 60 Fahrenheit, 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it drops below freezing. Rainfall mostly in the winter months, and they can have what we call flash floods. So it rains and suddenly it's flooded because the area just doesn't have the capacity really to handle that much water. Anyway, then we have the high desert climate, warm to hot during the day. Temperatures drop significantly at night because of the elevation, not because of anything else. Typically 80s in temperature, 27 to 32 degrees Celsius. Winter, 30 to 40s. Nights are much, much colder because of that, the elevation. And the 30 to 40, that's 1 to 9 degrees Celsius. Not a lot of rainfall. Again, some snowfall in the winter. It's a desert. I mean, what can you do? In the summer, it's milder in the mountain and plateau climate. The temperature's 70s to 80s, 21 to 32 degrees Celsius. There's higher levels of precipitation, especially in the Sierra Nevadas on the eastern or on the western part of the state. And they experience significantly more snowfall during the winter months. If I recall my history correctly, this is the reason for the Donner Party. If you haven't heard about the Donner Party, they were a group of settlers that were going across the United States to California, and they got caught in the Sierra Nevadas during the winter, and there was so much snow they couldn't get through, and they ended up having to resort to cannibalism in order to not die. Yeah. Anyway, then we have the highland climate. Again, generally warm, 70s to 80s, which is 21 to 32 degrees. And then winters, 20 to 40s, -6 to 9 degrees Celsius. Significant amount of snowfall. There's a higher amount of rain and snowfall in this area, but you're still dealing with desert climate, so you're not going to expect a ton in that particular area. So then we have Nevada industry. Tourism and hospitality is right at the top. A lot of money comes in from the tourism and hospitality sector as far as the industry goes. Then we have gaming and entertainment right below that. I kind of lump those together in my mind, but they're kind of considered separate. We have mining, renewable energy, technology, manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, medical services, construction, and education and research. We'll talk about tourism and hospitality later, so we're going to go straight into gaming and entertainment. You basically have Las Vegas to thank for all of that. We have the MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment Corporation, Wynn Resorts, Las Vegas Sands Corporation, Boyd Gaming Corporation, Station Casinos, Golden Entertainment, all of those things. And yes, they kind of do all revolve around those casinos. The thing is that while people do come to Las Vegas to gamble, that's not the only thing that draws them. One of the things about the casinos is they've realized that that's not the only thing that can get people in the door. And so what they do is they have a lot of like shows all throughout the year. They have magic, stage. I'm trying to think of the other stuff. They have specialty shows. They have comedians, all that, and they just perform nightly. It's a set gig that you have in Las Vegas at some casino. In the mining, Barrick Gold Corporation, Newmont Corporation, Kinross Gold, Core Mining, Hecla Mining Company, Hycroft Mining. So that silver that was found in the state, there's still a lot of other mining natural resources that are part of the state's economy. So they still have quite a strong presence in Nevada. In the renewable energy, NV Energy for solar. Sorry, my nose keeps itching. Next Era Energy Resources, EDF Renewables. Arizona is a desert, so it doesn't get a lot of the cloud cover that would go and interrupt solar power, and so a lot of times they can have those solar panels out generating a lot more than say other places that would have more clouds. If I remember right, they also have quite a number of like wind turbines and things in the area. Some technology companies: Switch, Henderson Data Center, Zappos, Vegas Tech. Moving on to manufacturing, Tesla. They have Gigafactory 1 in Nevada, Sierra Nevada Corporation, International Game Technology. I mean, there's gambling, and so they have these corporations that are just there to build gaming systems. And by gaming systems, I don't mean like PlayStation or Xbox. I mean like slot machines and whatever else. If you've ever been to the Las Vegas airport, first off, I don't recommend it. It's one of the dirtiest, worst airports I've ever seen. But like every 5 feet, there's a digital gaming thing in the airport. They're everywhere. And they're lit up and they're bright and they're shiny and they're really attractive. But yeah, anyway. In agriculture is still a pretty big part of the state. Nevada Department of Agriculture, Anderson Hay and Grain Company, Sierra Meat and Seafood, Delilah Dairy, Mule Deer Foundation. Down to the healthcare stuff, we have Renown Health, University Medical Center, Dignity Health, St. Rose Dominican, Valley Health System, Healthcare Partners Nevada. In construction, we have Martin Harris Construction, Morton Construction, McCarthy Building Companies. Down into the research, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, University of Nevada, Reno, Desert Research Institute, Nevada System of Higher Education. There you go. There's more that we could say there, but that's where we're going to end it. We're going to move on to the tourism section. So there's a lot of outdoor activities. You wouldn't necessarily think that because of the desert. I mean, who wants to go to the desert? But they do have Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area that, rock climbers and things, hiking trails. The thing is that where there are these kind of formations and things, red rock and stuff, there's going to be a lot of rock climbing. They seem to lend themselves well to that kind of stuff. Lake Tahoe as well. It's a Nevada-California lake and a lot of fresh water. I shouldn't say a lot of fresh water. What I should say is it's a freshwater lake. Boating, swimming, fishing, hiking, skiing. And this particular skiing, you can do both the water skiing variety and the snow skiing variety in the winter. The Hoover Dam, it's a very popular destination, apparently. I don't know that I ever want to go see it, but Lake Mead is there, and you can go tour the dam. Valley of Fire State Park has hiking trails, petroglyphs, unique rock formations. There's a lot of wildlife that you can go to check out. Now, when people think of Nevada, one of the first things they think of is Las Vegas. So obviously we have all of the Las Vegas stuff. The Las Vegas Strip is where that is concentrated. So you have the hotels and casinos there. You have the various shows and nightlife. It's kind of interesting. So Las Vegas is one of the places I've been to in Nevada, and it's really weird. It's kind of like it's got split personalities. During the day, it's like they try to be family friendly, and they try to get you and your kids and all that stuff. But then when night hits, it's almost like it's a completely different city, and it's like not safe for your children anymore. It's kind of weird. There are actually certain things like the Bellagio fountains are a popular destination. People go and they watch the fountains and stuff. But interestingly enough, children are not permitted inside the Bellagio unless you are staying there. If you have a hotel room, then it's perfectly fine to bring your kids inside the Bellagio. But it's not like you can just walk into the Bellagio with your kids and take a look around. It's like, no. And it's kind of weird because you'd think that the sidewalk just goes right past the Bellagio fountains. No, you actually have to go in kind of the side door, and then one way leads to the hotel, and the other leads back outside to where the fountain is. But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of ghost towns in Nevada. So there was a lot of mining that was going on in Nevada, and that drew a lot of people in. Then those mines, I don't know if they were mined out or what, but then we had those cities that just kind of basically collapsed. People went away, so you have ghost towns that you can go visit. Virginia City, and I think it's Rhyolite. They're tourist attractions now. Then we have, as I mentioned, the Hoover Dam. Reno is an interesting city. It calls itself the biggest little city in the world. Now, they still have the casinos and other entertainments that you would expect from Las Vegas, but the city has a different feel to it. Definitely a different feel. One of the Reno is another one of the cities that in Nevada that I have visited, and it has the National Automobile Museum, and it is the largest automobile museum in the United States, and it's in this little, I say little, it's still pretty big town, pretty big city, but it's there in Reno, and it's really fascinating. If you have a chance to go to Reno, I highly recommend going to the National Automobile Museum there in Reno. Trivia. This is, again, my favorite portion, so let's get rolling into it. Area 51. Everybody's heard of Area 51. It's a U.S. Air Force facility, and it is top secret. You cannot get in there. You will be stopped. It is constantly under surveillance. And the reason for this speculation and everything is because people think that there are UFOs and aliens and all this stuff hiding at Area 51. There you go. Burning Man Festival, it's you go out to the Black Rock Desert, and there's all sorts of stuff that they do out there. Mostly it's a big party. Prostitution is legal. It's not the entire state. They have legalized, regulated brothels in some counties. Then we have the loneliest road in America, U.S. Route 50 crosses Nevada. It's called the loneliest road in America. And there's just long stretches. The reason it's called the loneliest road in America is because there's long stretches of nothing. It's not like you won't see other cars and things. It's just that you won't see any towns. You just go through and there's just nothing for miles and miles and miles. We have the Atomic Testing Museum. There we go. Gambling, as mentioned before, is legalized. We have the Fly Geyser. The Fly Geyser, it's a geothermal geyser. It was created by accident. Apparently they were drilling for a well in the 1960s and they hit a geyser instead. So there you go. And then they have the International Car Forest of the Last Church. I have no idea why it's called that, but it's an art installation. Goldfield, Nevada is where it's located. And they have a bunch of cars. They buried them nose down in the ground and then they painted them with graffiti and other designs. So yeah, there you go. On to the weird stuff about Las Vegas. It is illegal to ride whales in Reno. You cannot legally ride a whale on the city streets. Seriously, Nevada is landlocked. There's not going to be a whale there. So why would you have a law against whale riding? I don't know. Marriage laws, you can get married in Nevada without a blood test and with no waiting period. It's still illegal to get married there if you're already married to somebody else, but that's pretty much standard. I should say that is standard across the United States. If you're already married somewhere, you cannot be married again. The Nevada State Seal, it's illegal to use it for any other purpose than state business. So apparently I violated that law. It's a good thing I'm not in Nevada because I was using the state seal on one of my slides here. It is prohibited to fish from horseback in Elko. If you're on the back of a camel, it's fine, but if you're on the back of a horse, no. Which is really weird. I mean, why the distinction? Then we have washing camels. You cannot wash a camel on Main Street in Glendale. Somebody must have been washing their camel quite frequently in Glendale, and people were like, no, that's got to stop. In Eureka, it is unlawful to use an electronic device to intentionally smell a flower, plant, or shrub on a Sunday. So as long as you're doing it on any other day of the week, it's fine, but you can't do it on Sunday. And apparently if you're just using your nose, that's fine too. But you cannot use an electronic device to do it on a Sunday. Lawn flamingos. If you're in Las Vegas, it's against the law to have a flamingo on your lawn. One of the things that is kind of weird about the United States, we have this obsession with lawn flamingos. I can't understand it myself. I think they're really, really dumb looking, especially if you're not anywhere near where you would find a flamingo. I mean, I could understand, if you're trying to attract flamingos to a certain area to put those in, kind of like a duck decoy. But really, why would I put a flamingo on my lawn when I don't live anywhere near a place where flamingos would be? That makes no sense to me. But apparently it made people in Las Vegas upset enough to create a law against it. So do not put a flamingo on your lawn in Nevada or in Las Vegas. And then we have camel races. So Virgin City, Nevada, they have an annual event. They call it the International Camel and Ostrich Races. The thing is, you don't have to race just camels and ostriches. You can actually race zebras. So I don't know why they haven't put that in there, but apparently it's the International Camel and Ostrich Races in Virginia City, Nevada. So there you go. If you have questions about Nevada or you've been there and you want to tell a story, please comment down below as always. That's it for me today. And like, subscribe, put the bell on so you get notifications, and later.